Hello everyone and welcome to St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon, Delhi NCR. St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management is the best college in entire northern India and in the country. It offers you a variety of courses from BTech, BBA, BCA, and they are soon upcoming with MBA, Architecture and Law. This is one of the finest colleges that you can take admissions into. It provides 100% job placement and assistance. It provides the best education in the industry. So if you are taking admission with us, then it is like you are making the best career choice for yourself. Let's start the video. The subject is System Analysis and Design, BBA and 602. This is for the BBA 6th semester subject, and the syllabus is according to the MDU University Rohtak. The topic we shall be taking in here are personal estimates and input output design. I, Shalini from CSE department, will take you forward. Personal estimates. The stockroom personnel will also need information about the business, which is very correct. So each design describes output to be produced by the system, such as inventory reports, sales analysis, purchasing summaries, and invoices, right? The system analyst will actually decide which output to use as well as how to produce them. Analysis specifies what the system should do. Design states how to accomplish the objective, right? So analysis is telling you like what it should do, and the design will tell you a basic kind of a roadmap or a kind of a blueprint or how you're going to achieve that objective. Managers and employees have good ideas about what works and what does not, about what flows smoothly and what causes problems, about where change is needed and where it is not, and especially about where change will be accepted and where it will be not. So, despite technology, the people are still the keys that make the organization work, which is very correct, right? So, communicating and dealing with people are very important part of the system analyst jobs. In many organizations, steering, also called operating committees, operating councils, and project selection boards, supervise the review of project proposal. The steering committee typically consists of key managers from various departments of the organization as well as members of the information systems group. However, the system specialists do not dominate the committee. A typical 7 to 10% committee would consist of the following membership. What would be it have? First, it will have an upper management consisting of executive vice president and vice president for the manufacturing. Then you have a departmental manager, that is manager of retail marketing and credit manager. Then the technical manager, that is manager of research and development and quality control coordinator. The fourth one is information system group, that is data processing manager and senior system analyst. Right, so this will be the entire kind of community, and it will have 7 to 10% community. For some organization usually more, it stretches more depending on the workload, and for some smaller organization it is less. So you have to actually see according to which requirements it fits into. So this is how you kind of personal estimation you do. Next we come to input output design. So the input output design, in an information system, input is the raw data that is processed to produce output. So how you're producing the output from the raw data? During the input design, the developer must consider the input devices such as PC, MICR, OMR, etc. Therefore, the quality of system input determines the quality of the system output, right? So whatever that you're providing the input, so that will determine what kind of an output you will have. So well-designed input forms and screens have following properties. Like what? So it should serve specific purpose effectively, such as storing, recording and retrieving the information. First one. Next is it ensures proper completion with accuracy. So whatever that you fill, it need to be accurate, right? And it should be easy to fill and straightforward. It should focus on users' attention, consistency and simplicity. So all these objectives are obtained using the knowledge of basic design principles regarding what the inputs are needed for the system and how end users respond to different element of forms and screens. What are the objectives of input design? So there the following objectives are there. First, to design data entry and input procedures. That is what you do. Then you reduce the input volume. You try to make very system work on a very low set of inputs. Then you design the source documentation for data capture. See, whatever that you are making, it is necessary to make a document of that. So design documents or any kind of documentation in any kind of phase that you're doing, documentation has a very key role. So you should always, for anything you are writing, any question and answer, the documentation has to be there. You just keep this thing in mind, right? So to design input data records, data entry screen, user interface screen, etc. And then you use validation checks and develop effective input controls. So all these are the input design objectives that you have to study. So 1 2 3 4 5, right? 5 points you have to write it down. Okay, then what are the method that you use? See, it is important to design appropriate data input methods to prevent errors while entering the data. So these methods depend on whether the data is entered by customer in form manually and later entered by data entry operators, or data is directly entered by the users on the PCs. So a system should prevent users from making mistakes. And how do you prevent it? By clear form design, by leaving enough space for writing legibly, clear instructions to fill form, clear form design, reducing keystrokes, immediate error feedbacks. Some of the popular data input methods that you have are input batch input methods, online data input method, computer readable and interactive data inputs, right? Then you come to the output design. So see, the design of output is most important task of any system, because that is actually determining the quality of the system. So during the output design, developers identify the outputs or output that are needed, and they consider the necessary output controls and prototype reports layout. And what are the objectives? So first is to develop output design that serves as intended purpose and eliminate the projection of unwanted data. So first is you need to see that whatever that you are developing is actually the one that is the intended data, and you need to eliminate all the unwanted data. Then you develop the output design that meets the unit user's requirement. So then after that you do the output designing phase to deliver the appropriate quantity of output. Then to form the output in appropriate format and direct it to the right person. To make the output available on time for making good decisions. Then you have types of output. You have external and you have internal. So for external output, the manufacturer create and design external output for printers. External outputs enable the system to leave the trigger action on part of their recipient or confirm actions to their recipients, right? So that is external. So some of the external outputs are designed as turnaround outputs, which are implemented as a form of re-enter the system as an input. So it is kind of triggering you, asking you for it, right? And in internal, what happens? They are present inside the system and used by end users and managers. So they support the management in decision making and reporting. So there are three kinds of reports that are management produced. So there are detailed reports, summary reports, and exception reports. Detailed reports, they contain present information which has almost no filtering or restriction generated to assist management planning and control. Summary reports is they contain trends and potential problems which are categorized and summarizes that are generated for managers who do not want details. Exception report is they contain exceptions, filter data to some condition or standard before presenting it to the manager as information. Then okay, this is something you may or may not write this or just skip it, but this is the input output integrity control that I have put in here. See, an input integrity control, it includes a number of methods to eliminate the common input error by the end user. So you put in a lot of methods and then you eliminate one by one doing it. And they include checks on the values of individual field, right? So it's a constraint actually. So both for format and the completeness of all inputs. So you have this, you have to maintain it in a given format, and then you need to see that all these are fulfilled. So you cannot leave it blank also. Okay, then you have audit trails for data entry and other system operations are created using transaction logs, which gives a record of all the changes introduced in the database to provide security and means of recovery in case of any kind of a failure, right? Then you have the output integrity controls. See, the output integrity control includes routing codes to identify the receiving system and verification messages to confirm successful receipt of messages that are handled by the network protocol. Printed or screen format report should include a date, time for report printing, and the data. The multi-page report contains report title or description and pagination. So pre-printed form usually include a version number and effective date, which we have seen also in a practical life. So here we come to the end. So there's an important question like write a short note on personal estimates. Then you have write a short note on input output design. What are the various data input methods and what are the types of output design? So I hope it's clear. Please go through the video, and that's all for today. Thank you.